To survive in this sport, you have to constantly evolve. You have to constantly be remaking yourself, because if you don't, they're going to figure you out. And you know, people have obviously there's a way to beat me out there, and it's you're going to try to beat me on things. You know, try to outpoint me, and you know, I touch you, I run away. So I have to evolve my style to where I have faster feet, faster footwork, and a more diversified striking style, and you know, that's the only way of surviving this sport.
So what is the game plan to beat the old Diego Sanchez?
The game plan to beat the old Diego Sanchez is obviously hit and run, and be faster than me, and play the stick and move. Stick and move, you know, not try to knock me out, you know, you know, I'm not going to try to knock out Diego Sanchez. I'm going to try to touch him as many times as I can and score points, you know, as if it was a basketball game.
At 32 years old, you've been in this game for 11 years now. How many years more do you think you have in you?
You know, as many as the good God gives me. You know, that's the way I look at it. As long as my body's healthy and I can train and I can fight, I'm going to get it while it's good, because I love to fight more than. I love it. I love the training. I love martial arts, and above everything, I love the challenge and just the thrill of being in front of all those fans, the thrill of the adrenaline. I don't know. I'm sure there's other ways to get adrenaline rushes, but being in the cage is definitely one of the top ways to get an adrenaline rush, I would imagine, because I haven't found anything that tops it yet. When UFC comes here to Albuquerque, they can expect me to be at my best and show up. This is a 11-year homecoming for me. I like to say 10 years because it sounds better, but it's an 11-year homecoming. You know, I have a lot of family, a lot of friends, and you know, realistically, this will probably, you know, the chances are UFC might not come back. So realistically, this might be the last time that I get a chance to fight here at home in front of my hometown crowd. I'm looking at it like it's my last chance to fight in front of my family, in front of my hometown, and just, you know, I was the first one to take Albuquerque to the UFC, and I was the first one to go be in the UFC from Albuquerque, and now I'm bringing UFC to Albuquerque, so it's kind of like a picture coming full circle, and who better, you know, than the first Ultimate Fighter to host a co-main event here in Albuquerque. Yeah, I wish we could have got Carlos Condit and Holly Holm on the card, but you know, me, John Dodson, and Eric Perez, you know, I got Rustam on the card. It don't get better than what it is, and I'm just extremely grateful for UFC for making it possible and giving me a great opponent in Ross Pearson. Ross Pearson's a tough guy. He's going to come forward. He's going to come fight. He's going to come try to take me out, and that's when I fight best. I fight best when I'm fighting somebody that comes and tries to fight me. All of the great battles that I've been in my career, it came down to chemistry. Me and Gilbert Melendez, me and Clay Guida. It comes down to the chemistry of the two fighters, and that's what makes something really, truly special. And I see that happening with Ross Pearson, and I also just see the UFC coming in for a treat. As Burqueños, our backs are against the wall, you know, on the day-to-day, paycheck-to-paycheck lifestyle, or whatever it is. It's, you know, it's a grind. We're grinders, and we grind and we work hard. And I feel like even in the fight game, when we started, me and Greg Jackson, our back was always against the wall. They always threw us against the worst opponents. They always counted us out. They never gave us a shot. Now we get our shot, and it's like the city gets its shot. Our city gets its shot to prove that we're not just a small town. We're a real city. We're legit. And so, you know, we get this arena filled with people with good energy, and we put on some good fights. There's a really good chance that UFC is going to come back, and we get UFC back over here. Look, UFC Albuquerque is a hub for UFC fighters, and we don't really have pro football, pro baseball, pro anything. The only thing we have pro is pro fighting. We have pro fighters. We're fighters out here. Whether you're a fighter in this gym or whether you're a guy that's fighting for his job, or whether you're a guy fighting for some food on your table, you know, that's why we have that fighting spirit out here. And I think UFC's in for a real treat, and Dana White's going to see how loud the UFC can get, because I'm going to bring it. And I'm going to come prepared and ready, and if blood is shed, blood is shed. And if the mat turns red, the mat turns red. But I'm going to be standing there. And all I got to say is, if I get cut, they better not stop the fight, because it could be a riot here in Albuquerque.
Anything you want to say to your opponent, Ross Pearson?
All I have to say to Ross is a big thank you for taking the fight. You know, my hat's off to him. He's a warrior. He's coming to fight, and you know, I have a lot of respect for Ross, and he has a great fighting style, and I think we're truly a really awesome matchup. And so, you know, he's coming to my hometown to kick my ass, and I'm going to be right here standing waiting for him, defending my turf, because this is my area, this is my zone, and he's walking into my zone, and it ain't going to be the dream come June 7th. It's going to be the nightmare, and it's going to be Ross Pearson's nightmare.
So the nightmare is going to come back?
The nightmare is coming back for Albuquerque, for Albuquerque, Albuquerque, back to my roots.
Wow. Big news dropped by Diego Sanchez. Thank you, sir, and good luck on June 7th.
Thank you, Ray.